So I listened to the end of the game, and then went to go see. I remember they were playing Kansas today, Arizona, and I went to watch the tape on that. Dad's gonna be excited because Koa and Dwayne Aristotle are back. They played well, so yeah, both teams did. So I'm tired. And then I gotta find out what happened with Eastern. I'll probably just look it up on here. They probably already played this afternoon. It's kind of a little dry and dusty. I might go out there pretty soon and get the hose and pull down all the windows and wash down the house. And then he grabbed her, and then he tied it to the railroad tracks, and then a train started coming. Um, all the advertising and stuff, the Khomeini guy who was killed in Iran. Apparently, with this kind of crap that they're doing, this is to attack people with bad brain activity, people that claim to be a certain way and then are another way. And then it apparently that's the okay for technology to kill them or strike them or attack them. I think what happens in the U.S. is it's also a genocidal thing. If you have the Messiah and you try to keep him under wraps, that means you're addicted to genocide and you're trying to make a manageable genocidal program to perpetuate your brain chemical addiction. Well, Doc could figure that one out. Yeah, I've known that for a long time. But when they started talking to me in Sierra Vista about the religious people being whack jobs, and I was like, me and Dad talked about it the other day. He said, all these people, they get religion wrong. It's like, no, they attack them. It's like, Dad, when they first showed me Chris Hitchens and Richard Dawkins and all that, I was like, well, I agree with your criticism of these people that call themselves religious that don't apply the physics of the Lord's Prayer and mass murder in the name of their prophets and their messiahs and their God. They're crazy, right? But then they wouldn't talk to me. I couldn't get, any of the Chris Hitchens or the Sam Harrises or Richard Dawkins just to publicly address me. I'm a religious person. And I tried it on YouTube for years. You guys should attack me. I'm claiming to be the Messiah. I'm the wackiest wackadoodle of all the wackadoodles, religious people in the whole world. I'm claiming to be the Messiah. Okay. I will talk to anybody who's a public figure in science, okay, to prove my faith in God and how good it is, how right it is, and how we should all understand how beautiful it is, and we should try to be that way. I'll talk to any scientific person in the world, anybody, who considers themselves a top scientist to help us have world peace through reason and logic and intelligence and all the good things that they can say with words, but they won't do that. And so obviously these are still genocidal programs being run by sociopaths that have brain chemical addictions. They're disabled. Like the one gentleman who's a lady in his life worked with disabled people, and she was from China. And he said some of the people with the worst disabilities are like Sheldon on The Big Bang Theory, or the scientists. I was like, oh, well, yeah. That seems strange to me. Do they have a 6-foot puka named Harvey that follows them around and tells them how to build nuclear weapons or surveillance equipment to threaten to blow everybody with nuclear weapons if we can't abuse them and manipulate them with money? Is that what's going on? And it was horrible. I had a lot of weird things going on. I had stuff I had to deal with in Sheridan stuff, and at first it was, being around the kids and stuff, and I didn't think that way. It was, and all the stuff that Amy had been through. And like I said, I thought Amy and Steffi and all the girls in my life were wackadoodle and shitty and shallow and stupid. And then I found out what really helped was when I challenged the military in 2017, said in 8 months I can be in excellent shape. And one day you could play, and they didn't. I ended up at the hospital, drug and alcohol poisoning. And then saying, hey, and then send me to the clinic and say, well, we'll give you disability if you take antipsychotic meds. I said, no, fuck that shit. I told them that. I had drugs and alcohol in my body, and I don't want to put anything chemicals back in. It hurts and it's uncomfortable. It's painful, and detoxing is terrible. And I'm not going to take money to kill myself by putting more chemicals back in. I didn't put them there. They're, oh, you're a paranoid schizophrenic. No, I did not. You can ask my dad. You know, I did not have an income. I was posting on YouTube and Facebook 24/7. I didn't have time or the resources or the money to go out and procure the chemicals that were in my body and put them into my body. Ethyl alcohol and the other things they said was in my body. Unless I was drinking rubbing alcohol and what is it, NyQuil and Listerine or whatever. No, okay, and that cost money. I had no money, right? They made sure I didn't have any money. They kept not letting me have jobs because of what I was doing online. And so you look at people and and I was watching a thing about Christine Applegate on Entertainment Tonight and being molested when she was 5 years old. And I'm like, oh, poor baby. She's always so cute. She's very cute. Then she got put in to Hollywood, which, oh, God, that's out of the frying pan and into the fire. Cut the sandbags last, but the balloon wouldn't go any higher. Let's go up to the mountains or down to the sea. And so, no, I'm not concerned about stuff. Well, people say this and stuff about you. I've already said everything that happened in my life when they said it was under complete and total surveillance. What happened, how I felt, so I've already said everything to every intimate detail. Because you cannot not say anything. You have to say, okay, here's what happened. Here's what was going on. Here's what I felt. Here's what it was like. So you can't, if other people want to hide and lie because they're afraid of the people that manipulate us with creepy, disabled scientists with money and say, you always have to pay us money to live here. No, you don't. I'm living in embodiment of the Lord's Prayer. I've done everything that was necessary to redeem the gospel so we don't have virtual presidents of pervert scientists manipulating us like we're a video game to keep on being powerful, manipulating us with money and technology. That's fundamentally wrong. Okay, you can't stop people from doing bad things to their spouse or when their spouse isn't home or doing bad things to their children. You can't stop that. Okay, that's been happening since the dawn of time with human beings sexually reproducing, and it's going to continue to happen. There'll always be wars and rumors of war. Okay, but you can get assholes that manipulate, that are jealous of good people, out of their houses. You can stop the server being monetary based. You can have technology of surveillance equipment for software surveillance equipment for protection from people that still have bad brain activity that works for people with good brain activity, but you can't have the monetary-based manipulation server. That's what causes most of the problems with our security and our codes and this and that and whatnot, because they don't need access to your security codes. If you have a code to give you privacy to protect your family from someone with money that charges you money to live here, see, that's you're giving your security to people that threaten to blow people up with nuclear weapons if they can't fuck everybody in the head with money. Okay, how Jesus Christ do I gotta be here? How King David do I gotta be? How Moses do I gotta Moses my Moses? Give us another brother Moses, gonna cross the Red Sea, Exodus movement of Jah people. And so I'm being sarcastic when I ask those questions. I know who I am, and I can read the books. I didn't read them too extensively. I don't study them. They drive you mad if you try to code them. Because, guys, let me put it to you this way, okay? When you lay out a perfect map and a perfect code, like the Peter Panda dance on the Vin Diesel movie, right? And then someone comes in and changes the code, and you think you have it down perfectly, and you're going to save all the kids from being home invaded and sexually molested for money and turn into porn stars. And you try the code, and you die. Then everybody's, see, he was wrong. He wasn't meant to be the savior. Now everybody line up for money so I can turn your daughters into porn stars. And your sons into pimps that run the cell block and talk to Jesus and are the, I keep everybody safe from being sodomized in prison because you won't stand up for the Lord's Prayer. Okay. But you're a big, strong man with lots of tattoos. And you look so sexy. You doing that? And you've given away your whole life. You lived in prison for 40 years and been able to touch yourself and think about women instead of be with women because you won't stand up for a Lord's Prayer of me. And I have to do the same thing, asshole. I just forgo the whole drama queen escapade up in Santa Fe, making, it's mean machine. Give me this onside kick, and I promise not to sleep with Tracy Morgan anymore. What an OG, right? Knock it the fuck off. Just stand up for the Lord's Prayer. No more servers saying, hey, I got to keep my money safe from all you assholes that want to manipulate me with money. You're fucking crazy. This is not hard. Okay, you guys must have the same disabilities that the little Chinese lady with the guy at Walmart was talking about, that the Brian Cox has, that DeGrasse Tyson has, that the guy from Santa Barbara has, that Stephen Hawking has. Okay, money is an invention invented by people that are evil to manipulate stupid people. Because money, you can't drink money. You know, eat money. You know, have sex money, have baby with money, that drink and eat and poo-poo, you change diaper. Right? Put my brain on a robot. It's not going to make your brain any better. Adolf Hitler Jr. Shit. Okay. Oh, Chiang Kai-shek me this, Mussolini me that. I mean, come on, who do you work for? My brain to feel powerful. That's who I work for. I'll put it on. You will Starscream your Megatron all you want. I'm not Optimus Prime. I'm not fucking Optimus Prime. I ain't pretending to be a sports car that talks like Catman's Brothers. Just put out your trash can. Oh, don't put it. We'll find a way to distribute. You know, Muhammad. When Muhammad took that other guy's trash to where everybody takes the trash. Remember that story? Okay. Did they have a garbage man? No, Muhammad did it. The Messiah, right? Did they have a garbage truck? No. They just put it in a place where they knew it wouldn't get people sick, right? And where it could biodegrade and it wouldn't, so that everybody knew, okay, hey, and they would distribute it intelligently. Wow, you mean we have to do the work instead of pay a poor person to do it or invent a robot because I need a good quality of life because it's E-Trade and don't get mad, get E-Trade. Oh, shut up. Fuck, you're so retarded. Okay, your inventions cannot price the truth of creation. Son of a bitch, son of a bitch, son of a bitch. They're always fucking talking, son of a bitch, right? So that guy Ayatollah Khomeini, Ali Khomeini guy, he got himself killed. Okay, he put a big advertisement on me. Blow me up! I don't want to live the Lord's Prayer, but I say I'm like Muhammad. I'm asking for it, right? Right? Okay. I did not ask to be abused by pervert scientists and assholes like the Khomeini for standing up and doing the right thing. I went on radio and said, hey, are you guys for real or are you CIA operatives? Mahmoud Ahmadinejad and Osama bin Laden. Somebody get a hold of me, let me know. Then I had to talk to the guy because he was afraid. He's from Ali's family. And when I talked to him about it, he says, you do know this is stuff, it's all orchestrated. I get it. But I just needed to see if someone wanted to step outside of the orchestration and man up and talk to me, or if they could, or if they were even capable. You got to try. You got to do it the old-fashioned way. Well, because the old-fashioned way is the right way. Okay. I am the way, the truth, and life. None to the faith of Father Abraham except through me. Can you see Abraham saying, okay, I'm going to try to trick the Romulan lady like Spock and Captain Kirk on the Star Trek there. Okay, let's teach them how to live the Lord's Prayer. Maybe the Romulans won't try to build cloaking devices to blow your shit up so they can control everybody with money. It's not control, it's manipulation. I understand that. And then destroy planets, trying to conquer planets. It's fucking crazy. Yes, it is. And then boom, what happens? Supernova, black hole, help! There's no time. There you go. No time left for you. No time for the killing floor. No time left for you. Tommy asked me that. He goes, what do you think the killing floor is? I think it's Vietnam, yo. Because, I'm just looking at the time era. And they did American Woman in no time. And so I think they're talking about, I don't need your ghetto scenes. I don't need your war machines. They're from Canada. There's ghettos in Canada. They just have better advertising. There's poor people in Canada. There's someone getting molested by the babysitter in Canada. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Have you seen that Alaska Daily Show with the girl from the $1 million baby thing with Clint Eastwood did? The mule with the best barbecue and Cloudcroft in the world, right? Assholes. I know. This is God's country. Um, uh, one love. One love is living the Lord's Prayer, chicken fingers, Canes. Be able. Stand up for the Lord's Prayer. Canes, chicken fingers. Be able. Stand up for the Lord's Prayer. One love is living the Lord's Prayer. Yes, I know my Bob Marley. He's like me. we related. We cousins. My cousin. Yeah, I know my cousin. We've talked many times in prayer. It's hard. He was always being distracted, and he was mostly always high. And it's hard to talk to people when they're high on marijuana a lot because there's brain chemical activity in their brain that's not registering things as lucidly as when you talk to Haile Selassie. I didn't talk to Steve as much. Steve's not my cousin. I like Steve. When I talked to Steve, it was through Boob, connection through Boob. So somehow, well, Boob knew who Steve was. Okay. So there was a connection there. And I'm sure they both know who Haile Selassie is. But Haile would tell me that too. It's hard to talk to anybody when they're being confused by all this madness and this insanity and this tribalism and stuff. It's hard they have trouble listening, Earl. Okay. And, those that know they are right, no one wants to listen to them talk because they don't want them to be right. No, we're going to win. No one's going to win, especially in our lifetime. But when the man comes, he'll stop all the winning and losing because he'll be able to correct their devices. I happen to be the man. So when the man comes, there will be no doom, one song, and pity on those whose chances grow thinner. There ain't no hiding place from the truth of creation. One love, one heart, let's get together and feel all right. Don't ask for money for chicken because chicken's given to us by the glory of God and not by Wall Street. One love, Carol. Him like King David. Him like King David. I am the Heart of Psalms and the Seed of Proverbs. Yeah. And I'm proud of my son for stepping up and protecting my Natalie when she needed a hero with these perverts that were grooming her and abusing her the whole time. And yeah, she's a strong kid. She's a beautiful kid. Yeah. I'm going to have to I'll talk with Tina and see if she can take that Disney profit sharing thing that their grandparents gave her, I don't know how much it's worth. I told Dad that. It might be like 30 grand or something like that. And she has things about being pregnant. That might really help with her man and the baby while I'm still fixing this shit. I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't want to think that way, though. I don't think that way at all. I don't make myself think I'll give it to them and say, here, y'all deal with it. And while I'm cleaning up this mess. I don't think, you got to be prepared financially. Money's not real. I'm the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer. You don't have to be prepared financially. If I start preparing financially, I start thinking like Donald Trump and the art of the deal steal. I ain't about to start thinking like that motherfucker and let's burn all my neighbors out of Maui so I can increase my real estate holdings. Fuck no. I ain't a bitch. I'm a man. I'm a man, yes I am, and I can't help but love you so. Someone has to be the standard of men, like I used to tell my mom all the time. Earl, you can't do that. All the bitchy men will try to kill you. Mom, somebody's got to be a man. Women don't need to be bitches, and women don't need to be fucked by bitches and then told they bitches. Right. When a man, loves a woman, and then she says, oh, it's a man. No, he won't give away all his comforts to sleep out in the cold. That's a fucking, that's a Heath Ledger movie with the girl that wouldn't be in that position because she brown and wearing clothes and doing her hair. And Queen wasn't even around back then, and that was David Bowie. Golden years gold, pop, pop, pop. You guys are nuts. They are. But everything's gonna be all right. Everything's gonna be. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. So just. Focus on stop, survive, stop, eliminate abuse, and recover. And just tell yourself, I'm going to recover. It doesn't always work. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. Okay. Escúchame, háblame. Don't habla me, you talk too much. Escúchame. You worry me to death. Shouldn't worry my pet. You talk about people that you don't know. You talk about people wherever you go. Listen to me. Escúchame. Listen. Okay? Life's eternal and grace is infinite. Survive, stop, eliminate, abuse, recover. Okay, get up and you do what you know is right to stop and eliminate abuse, and then eternally we all recover. Past, present, future, all at the same time. Adam, Moses, David, Jesus, John. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Why have you forsaken me? So when the man comes, there will be no doom. One song and pity on those whose chances go thinner. There ain't no hiding praise from the truth of creation. Bam! Life's eternal, grace is infinite. There you go. Don't tell me about philosophy from one age. I already smacked your teeth out of your head. July 19th, 1966. Pick up sticks. There you go. Okay. Whoa, water boy. Do you get it? Okay. We already did that in the shower with the deputies and all the people in surveillance in Sierra Vista making fun of me and laughing at me when I had the long hair, and Moses was talking to me about cleaning up, and I was cleaning the shower and crying because I couldn't get as clean as I wanted to. You got to clean up the water for the children so the kids can be healthy and not have disease and murder and, hey, pay me to keep your water clean. No, we won't pay you any money. So we got this. Trust me. If Neil deGrasse Tyson and Brian Cox and all the other people that have all these accolades for doing crazy shit for crazy money with crazy people can't admit, I just might be a tad bit fucking crazy there. I can't stand up. I can tell people why we're still doing whacked out shit to threaten to murder each other with technology over money, but I can't tell people about Earl Parsons and his perfection of standing up for the Lord's Prayer and restoring the Gospels. I just might be a tad bit Santa Barbara loco. Yeah. Look, there's two black people walking down the street. They must play for the basketball team at the college. For Coach Jerry Prim or Jerry Pim, the guy that used to coach at Utah. And then he went to Santa Barbara, and that's when they got the name of it. Was it Valvano or what was the name of the Thunderdome? And for years, they were a lot like New Mexico State with McCarthy. They were a real dominant team in their conference and always on late night ESPN TV. You guys remember that? 12,000 screaming Panamaniacs because they had nothing better to do. We didn't have the internet, and we didn't have chat rooms to sit there and say, "Is your husband?" No. Take off your panties, touch your clitoris, lick your breasts. Okay, I'm gonna take my schlong out. Okay, well, fuck this. Let's get together and do it at the hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. And it's like, why? Why would you destroy any meaningful relationships, especially when you have children, for sex? That's horrible. Like I told Natalie, sex is a form of protection, Ray. It's how we live together and how we have our children. So you got to protect your spouse and your children. And the first person you have to protect them from is you being selfish. I've told that to all my kids. Told that to Noah. You got to protect, and the first person you got to be able to protect all the people that you care about and you love is from yourself. Sexuality is a normal thing, and being sexual is normal. Okay? But you got to understand, not to be tribal and not to try, if you have too much inbreeding, you because of violent and controlling, trying to control the access to manipulate access to the sex through what you perceive as control, you develop defective genes in the gene pool, and then you have a lot of bad brain activity. We gotta win. Our side's gotta win. I'm a Khomeini. I think I'm like Muhammad. He's nothing like Muhammad. And so you sit there and so you do like Saladin's father. You bring the horse in, and Allah decides, let's go eat. And then, like he said, would you force your daughter to be raped by a man who wanted the best warriors in all of Arabia? Or would you have her say, I choose you, Aladdin, and then have the best, gracious, good shepherds and virtuous wives in all of Arabia? It's your choice. What kind of curtain children do you want? Do you want them to be protecting and loving and respectful and empathetic of one another? Or do you want to be biggest, dickest controller of all the money to turn us all into the best fashion porn stars in the history of softcore? Love me sexy. So your vaginas are places for sad people. And your penises are seeds for murderers and rapists and home invading, all threaten to blow you up with nuclear weapons if I can't get everything my way. I loved, I left and cried, I gave you money, I got everything I wanted. I dominated New York, and I woke up in a city that never sleeps and found out I'm a number one, top of the heap. It's a heap, all right. A heap of selfish, self-destructive bullshit. Okay? Ain't no place for a country boy, ain't no place to be. Might be fine for a city boy, but it ain't no place for me. Hills of forest green where the mountains touch the sky. I'm thinking Gila sooner than later. You better hope it's not later. Hey, the whole reason you're safe from your enemies is because of me. And everybody knows. Well, it's in the Bible and the Quran and so forth, so on, so on, and so forth. So even if we can run you over the parking lot, Best Buy. He says, I'm a rocket scientist, and we can't come do anything. You guys are horrible. And the only people that don't know it are you. Right? It's the exact opposite of what I told the receivers coach in New Mexico State about Tivion Rogers. It seems like he's the best player on the whole team, and everybody knows it but him. Right? Seems like you're the worst pervert in the whole world, and nobody knows it but you. I'm fucking everybody for money, and nobody knows. Everybody knows it but you. Just all the people that are just like you and want to be like you and would kill you to replace you. Yeah, hey, those are really good people. They are. They'd kill anybody to take my position. They'd kill me to take my position. How do you keep them safe? I want some of Elon Musk's robots to keep me safe from. What if he gives you the robot to kill you so he can take your place? Who'd want to take your place? Wouldn't you want everybody to try to kill him so you could be in charge while everybody thinking he's in charge? Wow, that's pretty diabolical, isn't it? Though it's not going to last. It's insane. Of course, it's insane. And it cannot last. No, it cannot last. It has no intrinsic value. Okay, guys, I love you very much. Did you guys all understand that? Are you intelligent enough to understand what I talked about? Or do you think I'm crazy because you have trouble understanding crazy because that's too much like you?